Welcome everybody to the Genesis Mindset, and Atropa is even more bullish than I was expecting. It's just hit 2 cents and it looks like it could potentially break its all-time high very soon. We're only 50% away from that all-time high, which is really not that far to go with the amount of action that's actually happening within the Atropa ecosystem. And if it does break that all-time high, then we're actually far more bullish than I was originally anticipating with this ecosystem. And on top of that, Bay, my beautiful, beautiful Bay, she says we could potentially hit $40 by the time pDAI pegs to $1. So this is some fantastic news. So let's get into it. So first of all, I'm just going to share this tweet. According to Bay 414, $40 Atropa when pDAI hits $1. If you know, you know. And this is my boy. This is my boy Tupac. Rest in peace, Tupac. Rest in peace. So Shane Hart-Schuler accused me of not being into rap. Shane Hart-Schuler, my university days were full of this kind of music. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Tupac, Biggie. Mate, I like all kinds of music, my good friend. Shane Hart-Schuler, the brother of Richard Hart, the real brother, the one and only brother, the owner of Rob, the father of Dragons. Okay. Yeah, so my boy, Freedom777. This is obviously some sort of a quote from the chat log. And this is where she was talking about so people's expectations are a lot lower. So I also did like a price prediction video just based on some numbers that I pulled out of my butt. But, you know, I'd rather go with these price predictions than the ones that I pulled out from Bay herself, because she's the chef, so she knows what's up. And so Freedom was saying right now, Atropa to pDAI is a 1 to 8.5 ratio. As pDAI and Atropa continues to grow in value together, do you see that ratio staying around 1 to 10, or could it deviate further? And my gorgeous Bay said, I'm expecting the ratio to grow wider. Wow. Between 30 to 1 to 40 to 1 by the time pDAI is $1, going by what has occurred already. So how's this actually going to happen? So the way that I see it happening, and again, I don't know the full maths. I actually do want to get, it's probably getting a little bit difficult now, but does everyone remember that little mud map between all the different liquidity pools at the very start of Atropa, where people were starting to work out what was going on with pDAI and Atropa? I actually wouldn't mind doing that, but I think it's probably going to make me smash my head against the wall in the same way that it did when I was originally trying to dissect the chat logs a long time ago. So basically the process would be going through every single pair and getting all the different total tokens, which is actually quite easy because there's a spreadsheet somewhere. So I can get that spreadsheet, gather all the different pools, and I just make them all like equal value perhaps, and then see where they actually interlink and how everything interlinks. So doing something like that would be an excruciating process. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to do it, and I don't know how much value it's actually going to provide. But I kind of get the feeling it would provide a lot of value in the same way that dissecting the chat log provided a lot of value, both to myself and to the audience. So I'm considering it. Also, just pushing my brain to that level, just like Andrew Huberman says, is extremely good for your brain. But yeah, don't get your hopes up. I'm not too sure, but I do want to see like an updated routing system within the Atropa ecosystem. And so each time a new layer of tokens gets plugged into it and it pumps, then that eventually filters into Atropa in some way or another because of all the different routes. So pDAI, everyone's very excited, and don't get me wrong, I'm very excited about pDAI going to $1. We got Somi starting to talk about it more as well. He also dissected the 99 Capital tweet. So people are starting to get really excited. But for Atropa to do that, for it to get to that level, Atropa is going to be the collateral for pDAI. Atropa is going to be what's going to back it. So if it gets to 40 to 1 to pDAI, it's phenomenal. And that's how we achieve this decentralized stable coin. And that's where everyone's eyes are hopefully going to open up. But you would imagine their eyes are going to be open long before that, once they start seeing this compounding evidence. I mean, the evidence just continues to grow. People are doing their digging. And again, a huge congratulations to all the people who have been doing the digging. Like before I even got into this ecosystem, there was people really down deep in the rabbit holes with Atropa. So congratulations to them. If this really takes off, which I do believe that it is, and if it breaks all-time high, then it's really validation for what we've been talking about, because quite literally, we're only just getting started. Like the price just hit 2 cents for Atropa. If we're talking $40, oh, that's pretty good, man. So let's have a look at this. So this is why I'm also much more bullish than I originally anticipated. So as I was showing in various different episodes, the liquidity flows at the start of Pulsechain. Oh, I took all my arrows, deleted all my arrows. But if I invert this, I'm just going to invert this so it's very clear to see. So if you invert this scale, is this the oldest one? Okay, this is the oldest one. If you invert this scale, so I've got it on the 3-day. I'll just put this on the 3-day to make it nice and simple. So the liquidity flowed from out of Pulsechain into Atropa. It flowed out of Atropa back into Pulsechain, and then it flowed out of Pulsechain back into Atropa. But now we've had this huge pump in Pulsechain where this flow now is, it's almost like this whole stage here was like setting up Atropa. Now some different things are starting to happen. So I'm going to go back to this. I'll invert the scale back to normal. So now this is to WPLS, but we'll go to the USD value. Because yes, we do want to, I've been playing with the ratios to try and accumulate and grow my Pulsechain. But what I'm really interested in is if we do break this all-time high. So one of my original theses was, as this pumps up, this goes down and then it inverts. So it's like leveraging itself up. But what I had anticipated was we would need to, in order to break the Atropa all-time high, we would need to break the Pulsechain all-time high. And that's based on nothing but just pure observation. It's not based on any math. It's not based on any understanding of market cap or anything like that. It was just like a speculation that if Pulsechain continues to grow, then Atropa would continue to grow. And that's exactly what we would want to see. So let's just do like a little, just to make it very clear. So I was anticipating, so broken all-time high, pull back, and then this keeps going and does whatever it's going to do. And then in that same way, then Atropa would have its turn in the sun and do the same thing. But what we're potentially seeing now, which is extremely exciting, is before this is even broken all-time high, it was just this massive pump. So yes, it was a massive pump. It was basically a 3x from the bottom. We could potentially see an all-time high breakout in the US dollar value of Atropa. So now let's get excited. Let's get excited with some of these values. So first of all, from where we're sitting at the moment, it's about a 50% increase to 3 cents. So we're at 2 cents. We've just broken the 2 cent mark and we're heading towards 3 cents. But Bay said 40 to 1. So I just put a 40 up to $40 here. Have a look at this little beauty. Have a look at this little beauty here. So if Atropa gets to $40, that is, oh my goodness. Okay, so that is a 2048x to that particular price. Now, the way that I understand Atropa is it doesn't stop there. So it's just like the stock market. It'll just keep feeding in new tokens into it, and the total value of Atropa can just keep rising. You can keep creating these new tokens that are bonded in particular ways that create certain kinds of ratios that basically ratchet up the ecosystem in a particular way. So Atropa can just keep going, essentially what I would consider to be forever. I don't even know how much market cap is going to come into play with it, in the same way that market cap is really just like a fake number with Hex. And Richard Hart was very big on market cap being irrelevant. I don't see any reason why market cap really has any relevance to this whole ecosystem. Yes, it should have some sort of relevance, but also we know that Maria Bay 414 is basically a Hex OG. And obviously there's someone who really likes Richard Hart's content and really resonates with him. So if she is basically looking at this and has that kind of basically as she's learning things from Richard Hart, she's applying her own understanding of life and math and whatever to this new ecosystem. So I would imagine that market cap would be something that is more or less irrelevant. So that is something to get very excited about. I'm trying to keep my voice stabilized here, but it is like my vibe is so strong, the conviction, man, because I'm telling you, when things are going down, I started talking about it pretty much when I was at the top. and then it started going down, and I was buying in, I was scaling in. And of course, like as my tokens, my Pulsechain is diminishing, I'm expecting, okay, it's got to go up, it's got to go up. And to see it actually start to go up, it really validates my conviction. So it really seems like a lot of the things that I'm talking about on this channel are coming to fruition. So I'm actually really, really pleased with that. I'm very selective in the things that I choose to talk about for very specific reasons, because I don't want to just talk about everything. I want to talk about the things that I have high conviction on. Basically so I can serve the audience and prove that through the right mindset, you can actually increase your probability of making the right choices and going with the correct flow of the universe. Okay, so man, pDAI, look how close it is. Look how close it is to breaking its all-time high. So pDAI is extremely close to breaking its all-time high. So I believe it's even less than Atropa. Yeah, it's even less than Atropa. So it's less than 50% to its all-time high. And to its $1 mark, oh man, it's a 419x. I mean, I don't see I don't really see the core coins achieving those kind of results. I don't see the core coins achieving those kinds of results. So these memes, I do see them achieving these kinds of results within this cycle. Maybe not even within this cycle. Who really knows? Because it's going to take a lot to get it up to the $1 mark. But who really knows? It really does look like things are, I mean, they're going extremely well. I mean, this is a very, very positive price chart. The volume is starting to go up. So Chris, Hex equals MC squared on Twitter. If you don't follow him, I would strongly recommend following him. He's given me like a whole new understanding of the way volume works and the kind of reading that you can get from the volume. So basically, he's talking about, whenever we were looking at this, he would be charting and saying, no, we're not really ready for a breakout yet. We're not really ready for a breakout. He basically analyzes the volume and sees, okay, are the whales starting to buy now, or are they starting to sell now? And are they entering the ecosystem? And he's really analyzing that. And so basically he was basically saying no, 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 no. And then once we started seeing this now, he's saying yes, 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 yes. So really amazing understanding of volume. So I really like his perspective. So definitely go and follow him. So have a look at this. The volume is increasing, just like we've started to see the increase in volume here. So we could be getting close to the all-time high. Could we break the all-time high? I really, really, really hope that we do, because it thoroughly validates this ecosystem as being an excellent leverage play within the Pulsechain ecosystem. Because if we can break all-time highs without Pulsechain breaking all-time highs, then it tells me that this ecosystem is going to be a very good ecosystem to keep your eye on. Okay, so pDAI. Now, this is going to be something where I'm going to make this move. It's going to be a risky move. I think I spoke to Zach about this the other day. So I have I've got a reasonable amount of pDAI, but this was something that I noticed a while ago, and I created a chart. But at the minute, so the reason why I've got these dates here, so 28th of November, I wanted to just see how this actually flowed with USDC. So on the 28th of November, so if we go here, there was a huge volume spike around the 28th of November, which forced this ratio down in the favor of pDAI. So obviously, some kind of pDAI whale aped into pDAI here, and obviously didn't ape into USDC. So it caused this little phenomena to happen. And then it started to go back to the center, but still a lot of attention is on pDAI. A lot of attention is on pDAI. People aren't really looking at pUSDT and pUSDC. So now this could be an extremely risky move. But I mean, even if we look at, so let's just have a look at this just for argument's sake. So USDC, the pUSDC to Pulsechain. So what? Oh, here we go. So it's EB48, just for the record. Actually, I want to open that up on a new chart. EB48. So the expectation essentially is that eventually this will come back to the peg point. So I'd noticed that there was this peg between pDAI and pUSDC. So we've got this manipulation with the MakerDAO contract, but are we going to see it? I mean, is it really relevant with pUSDC? I'm not even too sure. I'm not even too sure if it can maintain peg. So this is going to be a risky play. And it's going to be something where I'm not going to risk my full bag. I'm just going to go with the thirds, as I always do. And so if we look at this, I mean, pUSDC is what happened here? Oh, I already had it open up. Interesting that oh, sorry about this. Okay, so pUSDC. So it's a different kind of a phenomena. It's a different kind of a phenomenon, but still, so it's still in its, according to its USD value. I mean, yeah, it is according to its USD value is 0.002275 and DAI is 0.002415. So they do essentially move up at the same kind of rate. So I'm just going to put these on the Heiken-Ashi. So there was something different that happened here in accordance to what actually happened with DAI. And I'm sure someone's actually done some investigation there, but they're essentially the same thing. They're really more or less the same thing, but I'll put this to WPLS just to basically, again, just double confirm. So 19.36. Oh, 19.369. Ayo. All right, let's have a look here. So, man, that's pretty cool to see the 369 right there. All right, so it's a little bit, it's quite a ways off actually, 16.6431. So you're actually getting a much better deal with USDC. Now, the risk is, of course, everybody's focus is on pDAI. So I'm not saying go ahead and do this. I'm just saying this is something that I'm going to do, because if we look then at this particular move back into parity, so quote unquote into parity, it's okay. So it is, let's just take it to $1. It's a 17.38% move. So what does that actually mean? So that means if I've got $1 million USDC, and so USDC is cheaper than, so pUSDC is cheaper than pDAI. If this moves back to the parity, and it has shown multiple times that it eventually does. I even saw in a Telegram chat that Maria pumped pUSDT. So I do believe that all these are going to move up together. So if you had $1 million at these prices, you make this ballsy move and you swap all of your pDAI, $1 million pDAI, into pUSDC. Once it gets to the dollar mark, that's an extra $173,800. That's pretty good. That's exceptional, as a matter of fact. That is exceptional. So I'll be making that move, and I want to be looking for these kinds of moves of ratios. So another one that got pointed out to me today in the Telegram chat, I did make a video about this a while ago, but it's getting even better. So Atropa to TSFi, I mean, it doesn't look as attractive. It looks in terms of like trading the ratio, it's a bit funky because you've got this like God candle here. So it's almost better on where logarithmic is turned off. And basically trading your Atropa for TSFi around here is a very good zone. And if we get, I mean, twice it's entered into this zone here. So if we get a move up to here, you can effectively triple. You can get to a triple of your Atropa bag. You know, if we're talking about, man, okay, so these maths again, like, thank you, Somi. So let's go to this math. So let's just whip up our calculator here. So let's just do this. So because, I mean, numbers are like, you know, sexual. So let's do this. So 2,048 times. Oh man, I have to do this. I have to do it 3.3 because I'm all about those threes. Because, you know, let's just do the 3.3 because, you know, whatever, YOLO. So well, actually no, because it's, you know, if it's 300%, it's actually 4x. So, oh my God. All right. So let's just go to the second all-time high. Let's go to that second all-time high. So that's 4.8x. So let's get our calculator times 4.8x. You've almost got a 10,000x on your Atropa just by making this kind of a swap here. So these are the kinds of plays that I'm looking for, and I'm trying to start to find these little secret plays. So very quickly now. All-time highs. So let's pay attention to these lines here. So the date, 16th of September and the 28th of October. So all-time high on Atropa to PLS and TSFi to PLS was the 16th of September. Now, if I swapped my Atropa into TSFi, that's another 4x. So that's 300%. So basically, again, I'm 4xing my Atropa bag by swapping my Atropa for TSFi, maybe even just play it safe. Double your Atropa, swap it back into swap it into TSFi, double your Atropa, take it back out into Atropa. So these are some of the leverage plays. And again, the down, I'm still trying to work out the down because I know that Maria spoke a lot about the down in the chat logs in the beginning, and I still haven't been able to work out the play on that, but I have a feeling again it's probably going to be something like this. These like leverage plays. So I know particularly with and it's the same thing. So I think TSFi is the hedge fund of Atropa, is the hedge fund to Atropa, and a hedge fund hedges. So therefore, if I am in Atropa and I'm hedging and going into TSFi, and then I'm now cycling back out. And again, this is where you use this chart instead of logarithmic. It's a good play. It's a really good play. And I'm sharing these things. I'm sharing things that people are sharing with me. I don't know if it's basically going to put me at a disadvantage, but coexistence, Steve, and I really want us to win together. And there's so much upside here for everybody. So I'm happy to share these kinds of little plays. So again, same situation here. Very same situation. So 16th, it all topped out on the 16th of September. And again, on the 16th of September, all the way until, where was that all-time high here for down? All the way until the 4th of January. So essentially, once again, from around about here, oh, come on, that'd be a dog. Yeah. So you've added plus 50% onto your Atropa. So if you swap your Atropa for down, you've added 50%. I still don't know why Maria says that down is like the play against the Atropa. I don't really understand why. It's like TSFi looks better to me, but there you have it. So and also I'm still monitoring the drugs. There hasn't been I haven't really monitored it too deeply in the last few days. I've been trying to catch up on everything. With the Atropa ecosystem. So when I do start to see some more moves, I haven't really looked at the liquidity pool. So once I start to understand that more, I think I might even start mapping that out and then just plugging that into like the whole map of the Atropa ecosystem, if I can get to that stage. If anyone wants to help with that, if anyone knows of an easy way that could be achieved, please let me know. I had a friend tell me about Excel spreadsheets, doing it on an Excel spreadsheet with like maps and boxes and things. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I'd think of something like Canva. But anyway, if anyone has any ideas or suggestions, I'd be more than willing to work with someone on something like that, especially if there's a way to make it easier. So yeah, there you go. Like, man, can we break all-time high? Can pDAI break all-time high? We're less than 50% away. Can Atropa break all-time high? We're just over 50% of the way. So I think we can. I think there's still a lot of excitement in the ecosystem. I think people now are going to start to really pay attention. Somi's talking about it, so there's going to be more eyes into it. So once these big influencers, I mean, Somi's got over 24,000 subscribers. So once these big influencers start talking about it again, these big influencers who maybe like a month or two ago, 3 months ago were laughing at it, once they start going, hang on a minute, this is actually broken all-time high, and then they'll start talking to their audiences. We could get a new wave of people that are going to push it past the all-time high. So that's something to really look forward to. So with that, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to break the all-time high. But even if we don't, what an ecosystem to be a part of. So awesome, awesome ecosystem. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, community. Thank you to the first people who laid the foundations for this ecosystem, the people before I even got into it, to Muddy, who was talking about it. I know Muddy, he really was talking about it a lot. We have this little group friend called the Fibonacci Fund, the Fib Fund, and Muddy was talking about it. And I was too busy running my meditation center, and I was like, I can't even think about it. And it's funny because I was joking about it today. It's literally just like click a few buttons. It's all you have to do. Just open it up, click a few buttons. But when your mind is not on it, your mind is not on it. So in any case, thank you very much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Hope you got some value, and there's some good trades there for you. So take care, and we'll see you next time.